Hello and welcome to the LGBTQ review. We're James and Beth, and every week we look at some LGBTQIA+ content and review it or talk about it. This week we're looking at You, Me and Him.
So, who's the man then?
No man. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle and all that.
Yes, but who's like a man?
We are quite literally two women.
I've just been thinking, I don't know, what a great mum you'd make.
Maybe, but like not for years.
Okay.
The insemination program. I've started already.
How could you do this?
In summation, clause 14 states that...
I'm pregnant! Snap!
Can you be without her?
No. Be easy, right? Having a baby is just like having a mate around who's always pissed. They just need propping up now and again and giving fluid. Who is the daddy?
I am the daddy.
Yes, you are. She's pregnant. You are going to be a daddy.
I thought you meant sexually.
You, Me and Him is a 2017 romantic comedy film written and directed by Daisy Aitkens. Aitkens, an English actor, writer and director who has written for rom-coms such as My Family and Shelf Stackers. You, Me and Him is her first feature film, co-produced with Georgia Tennant. The film follows couple Olivia, who's a lawyer, and Alex, who's an artist, as they unexpectedly become pregnant at the same time and have to deal with their family and work situations and the involvement of their neighbour John, who is a Mennonist. Lucy Punch plays Olivia, who is in everything really, from us being a teenager to now.
My mum asked who was in the film because I couldn't remember her name at the time. I said, it's the lady who played all the posh schoolgirls in the noughties. And she's like, I know who you mean.
Yeah, that's a very good description. Faye Marzay, who plays Alex, she's come up before in Pride, and that dancey bit of Doctor Who. Christmas special as well.
All the actors are in Doctor Who, right?
Is Lucy Punch in Doctor Who? Is Gemma Jones in Doctor Who? Is David Warner in Doctor Who? Simon Bird's not in Doctor Who. Sarah Parish and David Tennant. Sally Phillips. Who was she in Doctor Who?
I don't remember. I'm sure she's been in Doctor Who.
Maybe Nina Sosana had been in Doctor Who.
I'm sure, like, you know the guy who's like a teacher instructor in that one scene?
What actual Doctor Who? I don't think that counts.
That's the trouble with regeneration. You never quite know what you're going to get.
I am counting that.
Well, that completely derailed the cast chat. Faye Marzay. So she's also in Game of Thrones, Fresh Meat, all of that stuff. David Tennant.
What?
Plays John. He's been in Doctor Who.
What?
He's been in Good Omens.
What?
He's been in Broadchurch.
What?
What else has he been in?
Harry Potter, he was in briefly. That driving instructor character he played with Jessica Hines.
Now, Jessica Hines, she's been in Doctor Who. And he's married to Georgia Tennant, who is the blonde woman in the couples bit, and also played his daughter in Doctor Who, and is the actual daughter of Peter Davidson, who is the teacher at the end of the film. Gemma Jones plays Olivia's mum. She's Bridget Jones's mum, so, you know, just cast her as lesbian Bridget Jones's mum.
She used to run around your lawn with no clothes on, remember?
Speaking of Bridget Jones, Sally Phillips plays what is she? Is it a specific birthing class? I don't know anything about
it. It is, but I don't remember what they call it.
Inexplicably Australian? Yeah. David Warner plays Olivia's dad. Sarah Parish plays Alex's mum, and she's in Mistresses, that great series that I keep mentioning that the woman from Nina's Heavenly Delights was in. Simon Bird plays Olivia's brother. He's in the Inbetweeners. Is he in anything else?
Friday Night Dinners?
Oh yeah, Friday Night Dinners, that's much better.
I like that a lot more.
And then Nina Sosanya plays the doctor. She plays the doctor. She's good. She has the great line in Love Actually.
Huge thighs.
I mean, I don't know if it is great. She's great. And she's in Last Tango in Halifax, which is super good. But she does so the day after having a baby with her wife. Had I not just watched Buffy this year, it would be the most horrific one I've seen.
Don Warrington plays Charles, which I enjoyed.
It would have been better to have him do more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got a lot of opinions about the screen time of characters. He should have definitely had more. Simon Bird should just not have been in it.
Les be having some babies.
Jokes.
Understood.
No offense to him. He was very good, but the character was just absolutely pointless. Characters like Charles, because he's introduced right at the beginning, you assume he's going to have some sort of arc, but he doesn't. His scenes are nice, but it's just like, oh, they should have done more with that.
Having the only butch character as the joke feels really weird.
Yes.
Her character is just there for the other people to make a joke about.
But yeah, and then other characters deserved a lot more screen time.
You know I love you, don't you? I just think two women raising a child together is disgusting.
The line I really liked was when Lucy Punch is breathing into the bag and she's like, you can't come from me over you.
Yeah, because that line is very good, not in a comedy way. Like, you hear it and then you're like, yeah, well, people know how they feel. It feels like quite a conflicted film because some of it is so, I don't know, there's so much feeling in it. And then the majority of it is like buff men wearing diapers with a lot of gay jokes.
This film feels so dated. It feels like a 2004 film.
I think maybe it's a style of film, but although you're right, they are mostly noughties films. There's definitely a style of British comedy that is that every character's a bit.
I like David Tennant a lot, but I don't think he is well cast in this. I think his character is very odd. Like, I do not understand what that character is supposed to be, and it seems odd to cast David Tennant in that role. It seems like bits that don't quite mesh.
Yeah, I did write the sentence, I never thought I'd say this, but I wanted more John backstory. I just don't understand.
Even his big reveal about why he is the way he is, which is a weird thing to do, because he just goes, I'm just going to say what my life is at the end. It's stupid.
I just take it out on women, just all women.
He even says that, and it's just like, it feels like it should be like an uplifting scene, and it's not. It's very like gross.
I thought the cast were pretty good. Lucy Punch was great.
She played it so well. Loads of the characters, and it makes sense why they do it because it's a comedy. They just play it for laugh. Their characters only really have like one dimension to them. Usually like, here's the joke of your character. But then Lucy Punch, she's like very funny and it's like great comedy timing and stuff, but like plays it as a real person. One, it makes it so much more funny, but it also just makes her character like a real person. And it's just like, oh yeah, great. Thank God you're anchoring this film. Otherwise, it would just completely derail.
I think it feels sort of like a sitcom, but the woman is the main character. Because that's what she is. That's how she feels like a whole character. She's surrounded by ridiculous people doing ridiculous things. And she's like the grounding, exasperated, but rounded character and is the main character. So it's like a new angle. I think that part of it's quite interesting and I think it works really well.
That's true, and I agree. It just is a bit exhausting, the comedy sometimes. It's
relentless. But bits of it are unexpectedly sad, and bits of it are unexpectedly real. But yeah, the majority of it is relentlessly, I don't want to say funny. A lot of it is funny.
Like, it's like relentless bits, or like sketches, whatever you want to call them. The wealth on screen is like staggering.
Well, we'll be here when it doesn't work out, won't we, love?
Absolutely. That house is... I don't really understand it. It's like a Jane Austen house. I understand why Lucy Punch is rich, because she's a lawyer. She does all the lawyering in all the lawyery suits. And I've distracted myself.
I just find it very strange to see any story that takes place in this world.
I think it definitely feels icky that Alex and her mum are presented as working class, and there are so many connotations about them being lazy and scheming.
I was just thinking that actually there are hints that they're working class. Like there's never really a conversation about it. All the stuff about being like kind of like a layabout, and the fact that being like an artist and isn't like financially stable and stuff.
Yeah, and she meets her mum in like a greasy spoon cafe, whereas they go to the like country manor.
It's fair to say like the film is presenting her as working class. I don't know, it's just odd to really point to a character being working class without saying it or making it overt.
I don't think it is at all. There are so few films that would overtly say it all.
So here's my personal worldview or experience as to why I think that. Going into a situation or like a room full of like wealth, that is like very like odd. I'd feel
that's your life experience, right? In films, I'd struggle to think of an example where they would name it or make it overt. Can you think of any
examples
that aren't gritty realism?
No, but I don't think that's a good indicator.
I don't think it's good either, but I don't think it is weird. I think it's the norm. I don't think that makes it right.
Right.
It'd be much stranger, I think, if they had.
That's interesting. I've not thought about that before.
I watched this film at the cinema, and there were 3 people, including me, watching it, and one of them was the steward that was on the door. So there was just 2 people in there, and there's a sad bit in this film that is quite unexpected, and the steward just cried so much. The whole bit, it was heartbreaking. They were just old ladies as well, so it was really strange to be in an empty cinema with 2 old ladies. After the crying, it was fine because we were like, we'd been through a thing together. Anyway, so I saw it and I didn't think it was very good. And then the final shot at the end just really won me over, which is probably a problem with hormones or ovaries or something. I liked it so much, and then I was like, I love it. And I bought it on DVD. I still had in my head it's not very good, but then I watched it when I got it on DVD, and then I watched it again when it was on Amazon. So I don't know why I keep watching it. I definitely know why I keep watching it, but I think I like it because it's so much like those 90s and noughties rom-coms I aspired to when I was a child, except with lesbians.
Do you think it's good or bad, or have any thoughts about the lack of sexual interaction? I don't know how to say this in a good way, but like, so you see one scene at the beginning, right, where they like fumble and kiss and go onto the thing, and after that I don't even remember seeing them kiss or have any sort of like intimacy.
Yeah, but that is what you would expect for this kind of.
I just thought that'd be an interesting thing to ask you, being like a big fan, connoisseur of these types of films. It just seemed odd to
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I'll give it 2.6 fetus cookies. Is that what they were?
Yeah, I'll rate it 3 orange penises. I want to give it 3.2, but I'm not going to. So no. Yeah, okay.
You can break the difference, 3.1.
Yeah, 3.1 orange penises. Thanks for watching. This has been the LGBTQ review, and we have been James and Bear. Follow us on Twitter at LGBTQ_review, and like and subscribe to this channel to get all our latest updates. Goodbye.